What is up, WWE fam? So, wasn't able to post a lot this weekend. So, on this video, I really want to talk about Smackdown and then my thoughts on what tonight's Monday Night Raw is going to be about. So, last Friday, right, October 17th, I believe, Smackdown came on. A relatively solid episode of Smackdown. I really actually enjoyed the match between Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, and Sol Ruca and Zarya. I think Sol Ruca and Zarya are going to be on the main roster consistently and moved up from NXT here shortly. I just think what's going to end up happening is Blake Monroe is going to take Sol's North American Championship, and then once that's done, they're coming up to the roster. And I have a strong feeling that they may be next in line for those women's tag team titles. Sol is completely over, not only just in NXT, but even on the main roster. She is a phenomenal performer, and Zarya herself is a great performer, super strong, and I think the women's division needs more tag teams. There's not any to go around, so there's really nobody to challenge Charlotte and Alexa. I just don't think, since they kind of got rid of a lot of the Dakota Kais of the world and all of those people, there's really hasn't been a women's tag team division, right? So you really just have Roxanne and Raquel, and you have Charlotte and Alexa, and then you have the Kabuki Warriors, right? And then you can even throw Rhea and Io into that mix, but honestly, they're probably better as separate talents, right? So I did enjoy that match. I thought it was really good. I feel like the interference of Blake Monroe is what's going to lead to Sol losing that belt. I just think that's just inevitable because I think she really needs to come up to the main roster. And then we had that situation with Jacob Fatu, where he was found in the back, teeth on the ground, blood everywhere, can't fight, right? Got basically beat up. And it really reminded me of the whole Jade Cargill injury in the back when she's thrown on a car situation, right? Like, I know Cody and Drew went at it. Cody and Drew went at it while Cody was in dang near church shoes wrestling, which was insane, right? But I have a feeling that it was somebody else who took out Jacob Fatu. Now, we could be seeing, like, in my mind, the fact that there was blood on the ground and teeth out of his mouth, I feel like this may be a Randy Orton heel turn punt to Jacob Fatu type situation where Randy just turns heel and goes after Cody. I think that would be a great storyline. Supposedly that was supposed to kind of start happening at WrestlePalooza, but it didn't. Which also, okay, cool, got it. That would be a great story. But can Drew McIntyre get his flowers? Can, like, he get himself a championship belt? Like, I feel like he puts in so much work, and he's part of so many, like, great feuds. My shoe's falling off. So many great feuds that he truly, truly deserves a championship. I think he would be a phenomenal heel championship. I know Cody is, the corporate man. Everybody loves Cody. I like Cody, right? I'm a big fan of Cody Rhodes, but I just think Drew needs a title, right? Whether you move him to Raw and put him in that mix with this whole vacated title, even though I have a feeling Braun Breaker is the one who's going to win the title. Maybe CM Punk might hold on to it for a while, but I think Braun Breaker is going to win it. CM Punk might get it back at WrestleMania. I just feel like he needs a title, and not a mid-card title. It needs to be a main event title, right? It needs to be either the World Championship or the Universal Championship. I just feel Drew deserves that. But that was pretty much the gist of SmackDown. There was some other decent things going on. But honestly, I just wasn't into SmackDown as much as I was. Maybe it was the anticipation for Monday Night Raw this week. Also was a very busy night. So I was watching SmackDown streaming from Netflix. And I don't know if anybody else has this problem, but sometimes when I'm watching it from Netflix, I use a VPN, and so it will like restart the programming like halfway through the stream, like super frustrating. So I didn't really catch some of the nuances of SmackDown. So maybe that's why I wasn't really too into it. But now on to tonight, and tonight's Monday Night Raw, which after the way last week's episode left off, I am thoroughly excited for this week. I don't even know if you want to call them the Vision anymore, but with Braun Breaker spearing Seth Rollins, I want to see what story they are going to tell tonight and what is going to happen. I know Seth Rollins was injured. I got it. He hurt himself at Crown Jewel with that coast-to-coast headbutt. He's probably going to need surgery. I just want to see what is the story that's going to be told, right? And what was the reason behind Braun Breaker's descent from the Vision, or if kicking out Seth of the Vision. And then what are they going to do with the championship? Is Seth going to vacate the title, right? And is it going to become... CM Punk already won the number one contenders match. Is there going to be almost like they did with the women's title, where Stephanie Valkyrie won that battle royal for the number one contender match for the women's title? Are they going to do like another tournament to determine like another number one contender, so that either in Saturday night's main event, which is coming up this week, I believe, or next week, or in Survivor Series, they're going to do number one contender for that title. I really hope it is CM Punk. I feel like CM Punk would be great as a championship, and I feel like there's still a huge story to be told between CM Punk, Paul Heyman, and Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. I just think that's where we want to be at. But I have a strong feeling that it is going to be Braun Breaker who's going to win that title here shortly. And it's going to be either CM Punk or Jey Uso or LA Knight. Those mixture of the three just continuously battling with the Vision over the next few months until we get to WrestleMania, right? And then we'll have either the Elimination Chamber or the Royal Rumble, and one of them will come out on top and then take on Braun Breaker at WrestleMania for that title. Would I love to see main event come back? Yeah, absolutely. I thought he was really kind of cheated out of his championship, and I get it. I know a lot of people are really harsh on him about his promos. He is not the best when it comes to promos. And the issue becomes also, it's that same thing where he is so entirely over with his catchphrase with yeet, that like when he talks, every time he tries to say something serious, all you hear is yeet coming from the crowd, right? And I get it. I like Jey Uso. I'm interested to see how the story goes with him and becoming the next tribal chief, if you want to say that. But those are my big thoughts on Raw tonight. Like, what's going to happen with that? I don't know what's going to happen with a lot of the other stuff. Rhea getting hurt over in Japan, breaking her nose. I don't know how long she's going to be out. She's going to come back with a mask for a little bit. She's did that before. I think that might be cool. I don't know if they're going to continue that storyline or not between her, Io, and the Kabuki Warriors. I just really am interested to see the Vision storyline. And can Raw continue that momentum going forward that they built last week? I think that is going to be a very tough situation. I think it's going to be a very hard thing to continue that momentum. So they're going to have to come up with some really great storylines to get that right. Now, what are things that I want to see when it comes to tonight, outside of the Braun and Seth thing? Is I want to see something happen more between CM Punk, Jey Uso, and LA Knight than just like this I hate you, but we're going to team up storyline, right? I want to see one of them really separate themselves from that storyline where CM Punk already won the number one contenders thing, and I get it. That's great, right? But I don't want to see the same in and out battle between the three. It was kind of like when the Vision first came on. It's like the Vision opened the show of Raw, and then they always close the show with a tag team between Bronson Reed, Braun Breaker, and two of those three. Right? I want to see that storyline separate, whether LA Knight kind of rolls off on his own and starts taking another path to build his way to that championship, or Jey Uso does the same thing. Like, I don't want to see them fight anymore. I want to see something new for them, right? Mind you, CM Punk has that number one contendership, so maybe you see LA Knight and Jey Uso take on Bronson Reed individually and Braun Breaker individually to see who's going to win that other championship, right? Or who's going to be the other number one contender for that match. I just do not want to see LA Knight and Jey Uso fight each other again, or I don't want to see them team up to fight the Vision anymore, right? I just want to see it's one-on-one, build your own path. Like, that's kind of what I want to see. We also have, I believe, Maxine Dupree taking on Becky Lynch for the Intercontinental Championship. Please, please, please have AJ Lee come in and be the reason Becky Lynch loses. Because I feel like if she can do that, then maybe Lyra gets her belt back. And I am a huge Lyra fan, and I want to see that. I also want to see the build between Stephanie Vaquer and Roxanne Perez. Like, they should be having a match at Saturday night's main event. I feel like, okay, Stephanie won the belt at WrestlePalooza, and granted, you had Crown Jewel next, so they didn't really have an opportunity to build some kind of feud with her, and she hasn't really defended her championship. So I feel like the reason was Crown Jewel. So now there is no reason. So let's start a feud with her, right? Now, I get it. It's the Women's World Championship, but they did the same thing with Io. Io won the championship, and they kind of just put her on ice. And they're doing the same thing on SmackDown with Julia. Like, she doesn't have a story. Like, Stephanie Vaquer is a superstar. She needs to have a story. And I feel like Roxanne Perez would be a great first feud for her. Ultimately, would I like to see her go on and take on Raquel Rodriguez? Yes, because we already know Raquel Rodriguez is my favorite wrestler. She is my favorite female wrestler. Hands down, there's nobody that can change my mind about that. As much as I love Lyra, and as much as I love people like Sol Rook and everything else, they will not come close to the way I feel about Raquel Rodriguez, right? So do I want to see gold around Raquel's race? Yes. But I think Stephanie Vaquer, Roxanne Perez need to put on a match first, and then the feud can go to Raquel. I believe everything's just kind of being put together until Liv comes back and also Bianca comes back. So we'll see how that works. But to me, I don't want them to fumble the bag with Stephanie. She is so over. She gets a loud pop. I'm not saying she's on Rhea status yet, but she's pretty damn close, right? And so I just think the WWE could fumble the bag if they do not start putting her on TV and putting her in feuds. But those are just some things that I kind of want to see. I think for myself, right, I need to start jotting down my thoughts because I feel like I rambled a lot during this video. So if you stuck with me this whole entire time, I appreciate it. I appreciate you. But that's just kind of how I feel, right? I'm excited about tonight's Raw. I'm very happy to see that there's a lot of creative at work. And now we all heard the storyline about WWE using AI for creative, and we're not sure how that's going to go. But I just want Monday Night Raw to continue off that fire story that they built last week. So I'm excited. And I hope you are too. But please like, subscribe, hit the notification, right? Leave your comments. Tell me how I can improve or what I can do better. What do you want to see or hear from me as just some dude with a phone enjoying wrestling? I hope y'all have a fantastic day.